In this mini workshop, I'm going to talk about the 3 fundamentals for extreme progress. This is based on current brain science and psychology, so it's well worth understanding if you want extreme progress. So let's dive right in. There are 3 steps, and I'm going to show you exactly what those 3 steps are. So the first step is called deliberate practice. And I'm going to show you exactly what deliberate practice means, what it is, and how it works. So this is a little mind map that I put together here for you so you can watch this back and take notes. So if we go into the first step, you'll see that deliberate practice is about motion versus action. Now, if you have watched or followed me for some time, you know that motion is all about the kinds of things that you're doing, like you're preparing to take action. So you're doing some research, or maybe you're doing some writing and some brainstorming, and then you finally take action. So there's a difference between motion versus action, and most people are taking 80 to 90%, they're in motion 80 to 90% of the time, and they're not taking action. So if that's you, then you just need to recognize that you need to take more action. You need to stop being the perfectionist, because perfection is a 20-ton shield. According to Brené Brown, she talks about perfection being a 20-ton shield, and we think we're protecting ourselves against others, but meanwhile, we're not protecting ourselves from being hurt. We're protecting ourselves from being seen, because we're not taking action. You know, if I didn't make this video, if I just made this mind map and said, hey, this is fantastic, I can just share this map out with people, maybe that would be helpful. But making this video is going to be so much more helpful because I'm explaining it and showing you what you can do versus staying in motion and not getting things done. So the purpose of being in motion versus action, or to getting into action, and the purpose of taking deliberate practice is that you want to be purposeful and systematic. So you want to be working towards something that's bigger than just making money or buying more stuff or paying the bills. You want something that's really purposeful, that pulls you forward. I call them keystone motivations, and these keystone motivations or key motivations are going to pull you forward. So you need to have that going for you, but also you need to be systematic in your approach. Everything is systematic in this world today. If you don't have systems working for you, then it's costing you time, and you know that. So you need to be systematic in your approach, and you need to be focused. You need to have focused attention. If you don't have focused attention, that means you're pouring your attention out, you're giving your time away, which you're never going to get back, and then you regret that. So you need to have focused attention, and I have something called the Focused Productivity Planner, and it's all about focused attention on what you're doing and nothing else. Because there's a great quote, first things first and second things never. So if you're not applying that kind of approach, then you're doing what's called the urgent. You're putting the urgent before the important, and the important stuff gets put on the back burner. And if it doesn't get done, then you don't feel good. And guess what? Urgent stuff gets taken care of, but you're not feeling good, and your life and your business isn't moving forward. So you need to have focused attention on what you're doing, and you need to have a system for doing that. I just mentioned the Focused Productivity Planner. That's a system. If you want it, you can have it. I'll put in the link below. That's an awesome system. It's a proven winner. It's based on the book and the principle and the practice of the 12-week year. I just took it and put it into a system that can be applied. And it's way better than what the book talks about and the systems they have, as far as I know. You need something that's going to discipline you. That's what we're going to talk about next, which is a discipline device. So you need a discipline device, and a discipline device is something that's going to cause you to take action and do the things that you said you're going to do. And you will measure them. You measure them. Why? Because you're looking for gains. You're looking for progress. Progress is our greatest motivation. You want to put progress before perfection. Perfection is the greatest killer today. Why? Because most people are overthinking. They're trying to get things to be just right until they start. And that's going to stop any progress. Eben Pagan is one of my greatest mentors, and he talks about the speed of implementation. You need to implement really quick. Find something, implement it, get it going, test it, see if it works. If it doesn't work, reset, and then keep going. You want to fail forward. You always want to be making steps forward. If you fail, fix it. That's why that 12-week year system, that 12-week focused productivity planner that I talked to you about, helps you to fail forward faster. Why? Because you're taking actions and you're seeing what's not working, and you see what you need to fix, and then you can get moving forward. So a discipline device is not something that's common knowledge or a common term, but my system is a discipline device. It keeps you disciplined and focused and getting things done. Why? Because it's important. You don't know if your life is going to go beyond 3 months, 6 months, 6 years, 10 years, 20 years. You don't know. So you need something really concise and a focus to get it done. All right. So the next thing that you want to do as a part of having a discipline device is you want to have a goal to improve performance. That's the idea. That's why you have a discipline device. That's why you're taking action and measuring performance. You want to improve because improvement feels good. That's progress. Progress is our greatest motivation. We know that. Dr. Benjamin Hardy talks about this all the time. Progress is our greatest motivation. So why wouldn't we put that at the forefront? Why wouldn't we make our goals the biggest priority and then improve our performance? Ideally, we're becoming a new identity, a new version of ourselves, a new and improved version. And if we don't focus on that, guess what? We're going against our past. We're going against who we were. Dr. Lee Poulos talks about the future being created in the present against the background of the past. That's a hard pill to swallow. If you're trying to go against your past, that's why we have people in the world that create alter egos. That's why we have the Bonos and Lady Gagas and even Todd Herman. He wrote a book called Alter Ego. He has an alter ego. Why? Because it's easier to create a new and improved version of yourself. Even Mark Twain, that's not his real name, if you didn't know that. But, Mark Twain, that was an alter ego, a different version of himself, a new and improved, better version of himself with a new name. Even Elton John. So we could go on and on. Also, you want to become the type of person that is making progress. So all you have to do is take actions that prove that you're becoming the person that you want to be, your new identity, your future self. That's all you have to do, is to always be taking actions. So let's break this down. Let's chunk this down. So here's the thing. Mark Twain said that you want to take your complex problems, chunk them down into small, manageable tasks. So that's what I do. That's what this mind map is doing. I mind map all the time with my clients, and we break things down, chunk them down. Why? Because there are lesser goals that are getting in your way. So if we chunk things down and realize what the lesser goals are, then we can either park them and not do anything about them, or we do something about them, get them done. So you want to chunk things down just like Mark Twain said. And when you chunk things down, guess what? Then you master each step. So, if you want to be a professional in your area, then you need to chunk things down and then master each step of your life and your business, whatever that is. For me, it's coaching. I love coaching and I love transforming people. So I just chunk things down. What do I want to do? I want to help people break down their most complex problems so that they can move forward faster. Why? Because progress is motivation. That's why. So then if they keep making progressive steps forward, feeling good, that will be a magnetic pull that will cause them to do more. Hope this is making sense, because this is phenomenal once you get this going for you. So you want to become the type of person who's making progress, right? You want to get your reps in. That's all it is. It's just like exercising. You get your reps in every day, every week, every month. You take certain steps. These little mini workshops, I do them every week. I've been doing them for several weeks. You could do things that are part of your life and your business that might be things like making videos or writing articles or blogs or books, whatever that may be. Wherever your passion lies, that's what you need to do. But get your reps in. You need to do them consistently, because then they will compound. The compound effect was written by Darren Hardy. That's exactly what you want to do. And you don't want to interrupt compounding unnecessarily. That's what Charlie Munger said. So why would you ever interrupt something that's compounding that gives you joy? You wouldn't. So you get your reps in, you take action and get your reps in. And a morning and evening routine is the best thing you can do. Eben Pagan, again, phenomenal leader in the world, has a business that's done over $100 million. So he's impacted lots and lots of people, thousands of people. And he said that in all his research, the most significant thing that he came across, successful leaders would not give up their morning routines. If you own your morning, you own your day. Professionals plan their day and schedule their day. Amateurs let life get in the way. I'm imagining that you're not an amateur, you want to be a professional, so you're watching this video. So you want to have a morning and evening routine. I'll put a link in the below to the steps that you can take to set one up. I've had a morning routine that's out of this world. It's been, I don't know, maybe 6 to 10 years or more. I've lost track, but it's easy to do once you get it going. So your morning routine, very significant. When you have a morning and evening routine, then you will bookend your day. And you bookend your day by having intentions for your day and a practice to get yourself set up for success for your day. And then at the end of your day, you reflect and assess what happened. You look for your gains. So you project and reflect every single day. And once you start doing this process, you'll see at the end of each day, you're looking for gains. You're looking for things that make you feel good, that show that you're progressing towards your goals. And these aren't just business goals, they're life. You need to have 3 pillars. You need to have your business or your career and have that focus and be moving towards your goals there. You also need to have your health optimized. So you need to be doing something every single day that's optimizing that, giving you the energy that you need to thrive and survive and progress. And then you also need relationships, because that's your foundation. That's your support system. And you need to be taking care of those relationships. So you take care of your business, your career, your health, well-being, and your relationships. So the most important people in your life, your loved ones. So that's the first step, which is deliberate practice. And as soon as you get this underneath your belt, you'll see it's going to make a huge, huge difference. All right, so let's move on to the next step, which is called strategic ignorance. So it's called strategic ignorance. And what you are going to realize is that a lot of things that you're doing every single day are a waste of time. If you don't have strategic ignorance working for you, then you are wasting a lot of time. You're doing the urgent, not the important, like I was saying earlier, and you are letting things interrupt you. Probably 90% of the things that are going on in your life and around you and your environment are distractions. You need to turn them off. You need to focus. You need to shut off any distractions, notifications, and all kinds of things. Shut them off. At this point, I have text messages and phone calls coming in. That's it. If somebody calls me and they get me outside of the times that I check messages or respond or answer calls, which is only twice a day, they will get a voice message that says, if this message is urgent, send me a text message. Now they have to decide, is this urgent or not? Or should I just call back? Or should I just not call back at all? So you create boundaries, because policies will tell people what your boundaries are. So you need to have strategic ignorance working for you. Why? Ignorance is blissful, especially for powerful people. You know that. If you came across somebody who's powerful and tried to get their attention, let's say if it was somebody like Elon Musk or Bono or Oprah Winfrey or Martha Stewart or anybody that you know that's in the world that's doing great things, if you didn't say something impactful to get their attention, they're off to something else. They don't give you any time or attention. Why do you need strategic ignorance, and why is ignorance blissful? Well, because then you don't lose your power. Like I said earlier, if you are pouring out attention towards things that aren't valuable, that aren't giving you satisfaction, that aren't moving your life forward, that aren't giving you the energy and the power to keep going, that aren't motivating you, well, guess what? You're losing power. It's either power or pleasure. You have Power Island and Pleasure Island. If you're on if you're on Power or Pain, if you're on Pain Island and you're trying to get over the Pleasure Island, guess what? You have to be ignorant. You have to shut off information. You have to shut off news media is a good one. It's useless information. And, if you've heard the saying, what leads bleeds. Or what bleeds leads. So you don't want to be focusing your attention on useless news media unless it helps your life and your business or your career in some way. If it doesn't, then shut it off. You have to decide what is valuable for you and what's not. So don't lose your power. Don't do this. You want to practice strategic ignorance. And if you're not being ignorant of certain information, especially useless information, gossip, gossip is a horrible one. One of the easiest ways to get out of a situation where people are gossiping is to shift the conversation by just saying these words. That's interesting, and then change what you're talking about. They will forget about what they're talking about, and you will get to keep your power. Why? Because you're no longer talking about something that's out of your control, and you're no longer talking about somebody that's not even there to defend themselves. So why waste your time talking about them? Okay, we're going to talk about step number 3 now. And step number 3 is a fascinating topic. I absolutely love it. And so step number 3 is about, and fundamental number 3 is about uncommon accountability. So uncommon accountability is something that you don't see in your family, in your business, in your place of work. You don't see it. It's not something that's happening on a consistent basis. Why? Because it's not something that people know and understand. So let's talk about uncommon accountability. So uncommon accountability is, having someone who is kind. You need somebody who's kind, who's providing you accountability. Because guess what kind people do? That they tell you the truth. That's somebody who tells you the truth. Kind people tell the truth. Everybody else lies. So why would you want somebody who's an accountability partner lie to you or say, hey, yeah, you know what? I know you tried, but you had a hard time, and so you had to stop what you're doing. So you need somebody that tells you the truth, because when they tell you the truth, then you will grow. There's a great quote that at first the truth will hurt you, or no, the truth will set you free, but at first it will hurt you. And that's what you need to recognize here, that you need somebody who's accountable. You need someone who will hold your feet to the fire. When you have someone who holds your feet to the fire, you will take action. Why? Because you don't want to be criticized. We all fear criticism, so we don't want to be criticized, and we don't want to feel humiliated. So we will always move forward when we have somebody holding our feet to the fire. You also need a commitment device, and if you want to have a commitment device, it's as easy as writing out a simple statement and signing it. So if you want to commit to something, you can do this. I did this with my son years ago. I was a new dad, and I did something that I wasn't proud of. I hurt him, and I was really ashamed of myself. So what did I do? I used a commitment device. I took the time to write down what I would do and how I would act in the future from this point forward. He was young. He was still a toddler. He didn't really understand everything I was saying, but he understood what I meant. He understood that I was not going to hurt him anymore. I wasn't going to be aggressive, that I know I made a mistake. It's something I learned when I was growing up, and I wasn't going to do it again. And from that point onward, I never, ever, ever hurt him again. And that's what a commitment device is. But you can have one for your life and for your business as well. You can have commitment devices for your fitness and your health. You can have one for your relationships. You can have one for your business growth. And as long as you commit to them, and there's a consequence, because the pain needs to be bigger than procrastinating on the action. Make sense? So you need to have a consequence that's going to be so big that if you do not get it done, it's going to cost you. I mean, if it cost you $1,000 and you had to give it to somebody that you dislike, that's going to be some pain. So you do not want to do that. I have clients that don't like to do physical activities, or they have pain doing physical activities. I said, fine, well, you'll do a set of 30 push-ups. They can't even do 5 because they have wrist pain. So, the consequences can be whatever you want. But if you have a commitment device combined with the discipline device, which I talked to you about, which is a 12-week planning system, then you will make extreme progress, and you will see how things get better and better and better. You also want to have a measure of what you're doing, because Pearson's law states that when performance is measured, performance improves. When performance is measured and reported back, the rate of improvement accelerates. So you want to have some way of measuring your performance and then reporting it. If you do not have accountability with reporting, what's the point? You will not make progress. You will show up and not have got things done, or it doesn't actually, you won't have to show up. You just keep going and you make excuses. You say, well, it's not so bad. It could have been worse, or I've been worse off, and so I don't need to pay attention to this. So, these are the things that are going to get in your way every single time. You're going to run up against these challenges, and you will see, unless you have these 3 things working for you, you're deliberately practicing, focusing your attention on what you want, taking action, not just into motion. You're practicing strategic ignorance. You're ignoring the things that are going to cause you to move in the wrong direction and that are going to cost you your power because you have pain in your life. The pain is the things you don't like and the situations you don't like and the work you don't like. As long as you keep moving towards your power, then you're practicing strategic ignorance, and you want to have uncommon accountability. Why? Because when you have uncommon accountability, you can measure your performance, step forward, see the results, measure your gains backwards. You want to stay in gain mode. If life is a game, you got to play the game the best you can, which means you stay in gain mode. How do you stay in gain mode? You measure your performance backwards. This is how it would look. Basically, we would have, let's say you're in your business, we would have 3 tactics that you're going to take, some actions you're going to take in your business over the week. Just 3 of them. Because if you have more than 3, you have none. So you need to focus your attention on those 3 and those 3 alone. You put them early in the week, early in the day. You get them done. Then you can check them done. You check them off and they're done. They're finished. However, if you don't have an accountability partner to report to, there's a likelihood that you will not get some things done. But if you do, then you will show up and you will say, I've gotten them done. So in the 12-week planning system, you are now taking actions, and then we're measuring performance, and then we're looking for breakdowns. We're looking for things that we need to fix. So if something wasn't done, what got in the way? Was it, you got bored and you turned on Netflix? Was it you waited too late in the week to get something done, so then you didn't do it because you felt tired? That was your excuse. Think of it this way. There's reasons and excuses and results. Reasons and excuses are like oil and water to results. They don't mix. You either have results or you have reasons and excuses. And you have to commit at a high level and prioritize what's important. That's why this 12-week planning system I've been talking about is a priority changer. It is a game changer. It's a disciplined device. It helps you get your priorities straight. It's a priority management system so that we know you're getting the important stuff done and not just the urgent. Because when you're doing the urgent, the important stuff gets put off. The important stuff gets put off, you're not growing and scaling. Simple. That's what you need to be doing, is to focus your attention on what matters, what is going to grow, the progress, your performance, becoming a better and improved version of yourself, having your future identity pull you forward and feeling good that you're actually doing something that's creating a better life for you and for the people around you. You're impacting them. That's what matters the most in the end. Because in life, if you're not using your power, your potential, and creating something that's substantial for other people, you're not feeling satisfied. And if you're not bringing in income or some resources for your family and for the people that are most important to you, you're going to feel less than. You're going to feel worthless. And that doesn't feel good. So how do you feel good? Set your intentions, focus them in, get things done, be productive, check things off, and measure backwards. Look at where you came from, how far you've come. Just think for a moment, how far have you come since last year? Even 6 months ago? If you're not a new and improved version of yourself, then there's something wrong. You haven't been progressively moving forward, and you probably don't have any accountability. So, that said, if you don't have accountability and you're looking for some and you have a business and you want to scale it, then I recommend you reach out to me. We can have a conversation and see if there's a good fit, and you can see what my system is like and see if that works for you. Then you can step forward with proven systems, with proven winners. Why? Because once you have these proven systems in place, your business and your life will grow and you'll feel so much better. And you won't have to do so much heavy lifting. Because like I said earlier, you can either let your future identity pull you forward, which is from Dr. Benjamin Hardy. I've been studying and researching what he teaches, the brain science and psychology around it. Let it pull you forward, or you're pushing up a mountain and carrying a boulder on your back because it's your old self. It's your past self. It's your experiences, your beliefs, your habits, your practices that you are carrying with you, and you're trying to carry them up the mountain. Instead of doing that, let your future self pull you up. It's much easier. That's the new way. The old way is work hard. Working hard is a myth. It's a lie. You will work hard, but work hard on the right things, not on the wrong things. Don't work hard just carelessly and try to do things and make things happen. That doesn't work. So this mini workshop is all about that. It's all about you. It's all about making progress, taking deliberate practice, strategic ignorance, and having uncommon accountability. And if you don't have all of these three pieces, a lot of things can go wrong. Just think for a moment, 6 months from now, if 6 months from now you are not better, not taking action and getting some progress, how's it going to feel? You will not make any progress if you don't set your attention and focus your attention on the things that you want and start taking deliberate practice and have strategic ignorance for working for you and some uncommon accountability. Have somebody who's got your back and helping you to move forward and make progress. If you don't have that, then likely 6 months from now, you're going to be the same as you are right now. There's a great saying that the only things that change over time are, like 5 years from now, would be the people that you know, the relationships you have, and the books you read. That's the only things that are going to change you. The things you learn and the people that you relate to. So if you're looking for a solution, a system, a process to get moving, especially if you're scaling your business, then that's me. If maybe that's you and maybe we can work together. If not, then at least do some research and look at what you're doing in terms of your deliberate practices and how ignorant you are of things that are worthless and pointless that don't help move your life, the needle on your life forward. And then also, do you have accountability? Do you have somebody in your life that's helping you and holding you accountable? If you don't have any of those things, if you don't have accountability working for you, then you need that. Why? Because then you report. And when you report, you're going to be honest. And if you're honest, you tell the truth. And if you have a coach, like somebody like me, tells you the truth, then you're going to make progress.